After a month and a half and 59 games across the length and breadth of this country, we are down to the final two. It is the Maharashtra derby, if you like. The Mumbai Indians are going to be up against the super giant from Pune. That is the final on Sunday night in Hyderabad. And in studio with me are Sean Tate and Ajit Agarkar to set this game up. As we always do, we will have our match points on the program and our guys will get 45 seconds each to talk about it. But just in the expectation of, before we actually get into this, in the last two games we've seen in Bangalore, we haven't seen very high scoring games. Hyderabad should provide a little bit more. Sean.
It's a good ground for a final, actually. It's a nice ground. A little bit bigger maybe as well than Bangalore, and then the wicket's pretty flat, comes on nicely. So it should be a good spectacle in Hyderabad, yeah.
Yes, and there have been two 200-plus scores batting first in Hyderabad this season. Last year's IPL final was also 200-plus score. You don't maybe want a 200-plus final, but you do want some runs to be scored.
Yeah, you want a true pitch. I mean, look, if there is 200 scored, fair enough. I mean, both teams have decent attacks, or attacks who are doing well at the moment, yeah. So they should be able to cope with if it's a flat surface. But after those two disappointing pitches in Bangalore, you need a good one for the final.
Yes, bowlers calling for some runs, so you know that things haven't gone
unusual.
So well. Yes, in Bangalore. Right, let's get into the meat and bones of this conversation. This is our first match point on the program, and the big man for the big occasion. He's wearing a different coloured outfit than one he's used to in final situations, but MS Dhoni does know his job in these situations. We'll establish that. Remember, Pune have lost Ben Stokes, so they want Dhoni to come good. He did in that first qualifier. In the playoffs situation, Ajit, look at that, averages nearly 50, strike rates also very good. It really is a case of cometh the hour, cometh the man. 45 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it played for CSK for so long, and they've been such a successful team that almost every year that they ended up playing the playoffs. Look, he's been a big player over the course of his career. There's no doubt about it. Probably not at his best through this IPL, but has played crucial innings when Pune needed. A couple of really match-winning, match-defining innings, and none more so in that playoff game. You know, hitting those 4 sixes in the last couple of overs gave them a lot to bowl, and that's what experience brings. You know, the one thing you associate with him is a calm head. He showed that again in a playoff, and they'll be banking on his experience big time because he's won so much in his career. Sometimes it rubs off on other players. He's a huge player for them in the final.
Yes, and Mumbai, despite the fact that they have so much quality and pedigree in that attack, will be wary of him because he made them pay the other night when they were in a situation from where they were actually favourites for a large part of Pune's batting innings.
Oh, there's no doubt that Dhoni changed that game the other night. Those 5 sixes towards the end there, sort of finished it off for him. But he's got a bit of history against Mumbai as well. You know, being captain of Chennai, playing against them in finals, I think. So there's definitely some history there. And if you're going to take any player in the world probably into a big game, a final, whether it's a World Cup final or an IPL final, he's probably the one that you take. You know, he's like you said, he steps up in the big moments. And what bigger moment than the IPL final? So, and if you notice, like Steve Smith's in charge, he's the captain, but he'll still go to Dhoni quite a bit as well. So, although Smith's the captain, you still feel like Dhoni's the spiritual leader or what, you know, the grandfather of the side that they still go to for advice. So, obviously being with Stephen Fleming at Chennai as well, they've got a history of playing in good finals.
Yes, no pressure if you're watching this, MS Dhoni. Just go out there and be yourself, right? Let's actually look at Mumbai now. That's our second match point because this is a championship winning team. No team in the history of the tournament has won 3 titles. So Mumbai actually chasing a little bit of a special piece of history, if you like. Just putting up some numbers just to remind you of what they've done in the past. They've been in 3 finals before. They've won 2 of those and lost 1. And all of those games were against Chennai, led by MS Dhoni on all those occasions. What's important, Ajit, from Mumbai's point of view, lots of players in that lineup who've been part of these championship winning teams, not in the least Rohit Sharma captain.
No, I mean, formidable squad. That's why it shows you the results. I mean, 13, 15 they've won. They've not done badly in the other years. Yeah. No, settled squad, lots of good players. But the advantage this year they have is some of the lesser known players have, probably played better than some of their experienced players. Krunal Pandya is a prime example. Yes. Came last year, showed he had the talent but has grown as a player, whether it's with the bat or the ball. Hardik Pandya, they bowl him when they need, but his batting's come to the fore. I mean, there are guys who at the start of the season perhaps weren't their main guys, have stepped up, and that is what their strength is, and they're looking good for another title, even though they are playing their bogey team.
Yes.
You know, like, if you look at on paper, both teams, Mumbai definitely the better team.
Yes, Ajit says bogey team because Pune have beaten Mumbai all 3 times, but no better game than this one to erase that. Can I ask you this from the perspective of a former Australian cricketer? There was a time when Australia got into World Cup finals and just decimated oppositions. Remember 99, 2003, 2007. It's not like for like here, of course, because it's different format of cricket. But when a team gets into final situations and have done it before, is that an advantage, Sean?
Absolutely. Yeah, I played in that 2007 winning World Cup, and you know when you've got players that have played in past finals, the experience rubs off on the rest of the guys that haven't. So, you know, Rohit Sharma's been there before, clearly Harbhajan, these guys are in the squad. They've been there before, so there's no doubt the night before or the day of the game, some of the younger guys in the team will maybe get around those older guys and talk to them about their experiences of past finals. So, as you said, though, Mumbai are just a well-drilled unit. They do well at the auctions, they pick the right players, they stick with the right players, you know, they stick with Parthiv Patel when other people might not have, other teams might not have, and it's paid off for them with guys like that, and picking up the Pandya brothers as well. They just make good decisions, this franchise.
Yes, and there's one major night that's coming up where all of those decisions will be put to test, if you like, right? We've got our guys to pick the 11s because that's the tough part of this job. So Ajit Agarkar's Mumbai team will be the one that we will look at first, and I'm not going to be too surprised if he doesn't make any changes to the one that got them into the final, and he hasn't. Pollard, Mitchell Johnson and Malinga. So the 2 big calls that you're taking, one is that Harbhajan stays out, and also Mitchell Johnson, who replaced Mitch McClenaghan in that last 11, stays in your team. Talk us through this, Ajit.
Yeah, I mean, in a day's time, I'm not sure whether McClenaghan would recover. You know, throughout the season, I've advocated for Malinga to stay in the team when Brad Hogg's been after him. But, you know, I'd seriously have a look at the pitch conditions. And if they are quite flat, I might be very tempted if McClenaghan's fit to bring him in place of Malinga. But having known how Mumbai Indians have gone about it, and rightly so, if you've had a good win, you might stick to the 11. They'll require a bit more from Lendl Simmons and Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma's due a big one. He looked good in that second playoff. You know, if the right Rohit Sharma turns up in the final, could make it a special final for Mumbai. But you don't need too much tinkering, and even if they have to do it, they've got players to replace it.
Yes, last time man of the match when Mumbai won that final in Kolkata. So yeah, Rohit Sharma, lots of pedigree for this big game. Don't see Mahela Jayawardene dropping Lasith Malinga for this all-important game. Sean Tate's Pune team is up. Remember, they do not have the option to call up Ben Stokes in Spain and ask him to fly down for this one. So unfortunately, going to have to stick to these players. They only have the one additional overseas player available in Usman Khawaja. Don't see him getting in, Sean. But the strength there is some of these young Indian bowlers who've come good, especially the faster ones, Thakur and Unadkat.
Yeah, I mean, I've spoken about Unadkat a lot. He's stepped up, you know, towards the business end of the season as well. So hopefully he can do that again in the big dance. So, but yeah, I can't see Steve Smith changing his side too much. You know, during the tournament when they've been on a roll, when they've been winning games, he doesn't change the team too often, and knowing him, he won't do that now. So, but I think, you know, you speak about the players. They've lost Stokes. I don't think they're going to bring Khawaja in. I think they want the pace of Ferguson to add. You know, the rest of their attack hasn't got a great deal of pace, so he just adds that. Yeah, so a pretty good lineup really, and obviously beating Mumbai last game, I think they'll definitely go unchanged.
Yes, so that's where things stand. Do you guys want to give me a prediction? What are you thinking, Sean, on this one?
I keep changing every game. I mean, I like Pune, but I'm going to have to stick with Mumbai, I think, yeah.
Yeah, you'd think Mumbai would start favourites for sure. I mean, they've had a really good victory, having lost the first playoff. A bit tough to go against Mumbai.
Yes, so that's where our panel is, firmly in the Mumbai corner. Remember, this is the last time that Pune will be seen in action, the Super Giant, in the tournament altogether. So what better way than to win the title and go out on a high? This is how you can get in touch with us. Remember, we'll be live at 7:30 p.m. on our Facebook page right ahead, building up to that game. Ajit will be here, as will Brad Hogg, and we will also have all of the analysis right through that match on our Facebook page during the mid-innings break as well as towards the end. Lock in for this one. It will be a great game. Mumbai Indians versus the rising Pune Super Giants.